So you want to grow your mortgage production as a loan originator, but market has slowed down, you're constantly getting price shopped, and your realtor partners might not be sending you as much deals as before. And so unfortunately, you are commoditized as a loan officer. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 unique marketing strategies that you could use to help you craft unique selling propositions to help you stand out from your competition so you generate more deals, you generate more leads, you get more referrals, and you stop getting price shopped. So there's 7 questions that you really want to ask yourselves, and I'll give you guys tangible examples for each one of this, okay? So let's go through this together. So the first question that you want to ask yourself is, what specifically do you actually do that is truly different compared to your competitors, okay? So there's a true answer to this, okay? Because, for example, how can you position yourself that you are actually truly different? So a really good example for this is combining skill sets, okay? So yeah, you could. So I'll give you guys a tangible example for us, okay? In Good Vibe Squad. If you think about most marketing agencies out there, most marketing agencies, they could generate leads, right? Like, yeah, they might be good with like the marketing component, but it's very, very rare. What we have done is the combination of being able to generate leads and do the marketing component and have the systems in place that actually, like, it's not just automation, it's having a business system in place on top of the coaching and the community aspect that we have built. That is truly a unique selling proposition for us, right? Like if you think about it, it's really just combining. So if it's one, then maybe you're not unique enough, but you could combine them and actually make yourself unique, okay? So a really good example for this is, what if, right? Like we know, okay, you are you by itself, you're a mortgage loan originator, and you could be the best, at like this specific product, right? And, whether it's FHA or whatever that looks like, right? First time home buyer, right? But, well, what if another skill set would be, well, the financial, we talked about the identity of becoming a mortgage wealth advisor, right? Well, something that's like being an expert in like wealth advising is also a very different skill set from just being a mortgage loan originator, right? So that could be another aspect of it. Well, there's other skill sets that you might be really, really good at that you could also combine where, hey, well, what about network, right? Well, if you have network of people that is unique to this specific demographic that you're going after, that also creates something that's a little bit different, right? And so that's also expertise. Like you could combine these things so that you're creating another, almost like a new identity that's just a combination of different identities. Number 2 is unique benefits. Now, what's the difference here, right? No, there's actually a difference here. So this one is the positioning of something that's different, right? But a unique benefit is, what is something that you can do that can uniquely benefit your audience, okay? The people that you serve. So a really good example for this is J.K. Rowling. Okay, so J.K. Rowling, she wrote Harry Potter, right? Now with Harry Potter, every time that she launches a new book, she has a partnership with book publishers that what they do is every time that there's a launching, it's going to be a midnight launch for her book. And they create this like event where 2 hours before the launching, so they go there 10 p.m. for midnight, and people go in like wizard costumes. They have all these like they're having fun, and like there's like food there, they're celebrating. But the cool thing about this is, it is only her that gives opportunity to the regular book publishers to drive so much traffic, foot traffic, into their bookstores that she gets the law of reciprocity, where out of all the authors that book publishers have in bookstores, they always promote Harry Potter because they have this like unique benefit to them that they're able to create this like, wizard party, right? And so like, it's such there's a unique benefit to it, okay? Now, what are tangible examples for this for you guys? some of the ideas that I'm thinking of is, well, can you assemble an A team of local service providers that you now have a unique ability to give that benefit to? So I'll give you guys an example is when I bought my house, our realtor, Kirk, I wanted to do renovation. Okay, so I wanted to do renovation for my house. And because he himself has done it himself, like he actually buys and renovates them, he gave me a complete access to his A team, right? So meaning I got immediately, just by working with him, the unique benefit I got was that I was able to get access to his general contractor, who is very affordable, okay, but actually knows, so he's affordable, but great work. I got access to his appliance guy. I got access to his painter, who's also amazing, but also very cheap. I got access to the tile guy, just having access to these people. And what else did I got? I got access to he had a person that was, really, really good. It has discount access to all these high-end appliances. So that's an idea. I was like, all right, can you assemble a team? It could be your network. It could also be other unique benefits. So a tangible example for this is, well, what if you get in touch with a local association for teachers, for example, right? This ties together with the Hero Home program, but can you create an educational program that you could be in partnership with the local teachers association in a specific school that's right where you are, and now you're able to give them a unique benefit that, hey, because you're giving a unique benefit to the school, okay, just to clarify, you're giving a unique benefit to the school because now you're able to have these educating their employees of teachers, but in turn, that also gives you a unique selling proposition, right? So that's number 2 there. So unique selling proposition. Now, number 3 is just niche market. So a really good example for this is Veterans United, right? So Veterans United, this is also a concept in marketing. In marketing, it's all about having your market, and then message match. Okay. And so what does this mean, and why do I talk about this? You really have to understand who are the people that you are serving so that you can give them the right messaging that will actually match. And what this means is, if you are not disqualifying people, if you're not pushing people away, that means that you're also not pulling people in, if that makes sense, okay? What that means is, if you're just going after everyone, I'm a loan officer and I help everyone, okay? If you help everyone, then you are helping no one, okay? Because it's just you're a generalist, right? No one knows who do you actually serve, who do you actually help. It's just well, I help, I'm a loan officer and I just help everyone. Well, yeah, you're literally helping no one, right? And so the idea here is all right, what is something that you can actually be known for? What is something that you could start, right? So Veterans United, they have really done a great job at this because they only serve veterans. If you are not a veteran, you literally cannot even work with them, okay? And so think about that, right? And that's the same way for us in Good Vibe Squad. I promise you guys, there's so many people that want to hire us that we actually turn away, okay? We literally turn them away because we're also very defined on the people that we want to help serve, and the people that we want to help serve needs to have certain beliefs. And these are things, this is why, you guys had that 2-hour call with Preston yesterday, is there are certain beliefs that we know that we need to have, our ideal demographic, our ideal customers needs to have, because they need to have that growth mindset. Because if they don't have that growth mindset, then there's no there's no amount of resources, no amount of leads, no amount of system, no amount of automation, no amount of, training that we could do that can actually help them. Okay. And so, and this is also the reason why we have the Hero Home program, right? So this is an easy way for you guys to immediately do a niche down for you guys, is because, yes, Melissa, go ahead. If you need to hop off, no problem. Send a message to support and let's take note of this, Stephanie, and we'll send you the reporting for this, Melissa. Okay. And so with the Hero Home program, you guys now have the ability to be able to really position yourself like, hey, this is what I do. What I do is I specifically help first-time home buyers. I specifically help healthcare professionals. I specifically help first responders. And you can also think about this. Well, what demographic also aligns with your specific identity, right? Because, for example, a really good example of this is Jerry Holland. He's also one of our lens setters. And the amazing thing with Jerry is he is a veteran himself, right? And because he's a veteran, first of all, he could speak the language, right? But he legitimately is very passionate about helping other veterans because he is in their shoes, right? And so what is something that is part of you, or maybe, doesn't even need to be part of you, but maybe you have families, what is important to you, right? And that's where you could start, right? You could be the first-time home buyer specific loan officer. You could be specific to business owners, for example, right? Like that could also be a niche, right? And so you want to kind of start, you need to be known for something first, and then you could still serve the, other people, but you need to be known for something, right? So this is an idea, okay? And keep in mind, guys, I know there's 7 unique selling propositions. It would be amazing to have multiple, but even if you just have one, okay? Even if you just have one, you will already be so much more, you will already have such an advantage towards your competitor, because your competitor is literally selling to everyone, okay? Like that's what most people do, and that is a map to failure, right? Because it's like you will never be able to be known for something if you're just selling to everyone, okay? And so number 4 is adding personality. Can you add personality in a way that nobody else will, right? And so, for example, a really good example of this is Amanda Landers. The way that she constantly posts in social media is her identity, and this is the truth, is she's very passionate about dancing, and she has 2 children. So her identity, first of all, is a mom. And as a mom, other moms can immediately relate with her, right? And then also, she has 2 children. One is Miranda. She is a dancer, actually an award-winning dancer. And then the second is he has a son, Lander, who is a wrestler, okay, award-winning wrestler. And they constantly join competitions, right? Like she's constantly celebrating them. She's constantly celebrating their wins. But then also that allows her a unique personality of being, that like super mom, right? So being that super mom, having that like, people look up to that because it is a trait. This is an actual trait that is very important for her, okay? And then another example for this is our realtor in Arizona. His name is Kirk Erickson, and he has positioned himself to be the bacon realtor, okay? And if you think about it, like, he just loves bacon, he loves pork, and he just kind of made it a theme. He has added his like personality to it. And so, yeah, sounds good, Mike. And then he's added that personality. And if you think about it, it doesn't need to be crazy, right? So what he's done is he would actually, throughout our whole process, the customer experience of working with him, he would actually send us like packs of bacon, for example, for Christmas. He also said like a bacon ornament for like the Christmas tree. And so like just small acts of reminding that, and even his actual branding, he literally calls himself like the bacon realtor and he's also like very, chalky and like huge, and like he really loves to eat, stuff like that. So he has taken something out of his own personality but has added it into his brand, right? So same goes with Good Vibe Squad, right? If you think about our branding, and we have added our personality into our marketing, right? And so like you guys can see our ads, we're having fun, right? We use memes all the time. But that's also because that is who we are, right? I'm not trying to be fake here. And so you just want to, and like we're not like wearing neckties and like, coats and ties and there's nothing wrong with that. If that is you, then that's awesome, right? You just want to add something that is actually a part of you that is true and put that personality, and that can add some uniqueness to whatever it is that you do, right? Tyler says it is like your hat, right? Exactly. So actually, real talk, this one is very intentional for us. If you think about, so we actually here, this is a side note, but if we're talking about branding, guys, especially with video, especially in social media, one of the biggest things that you want to think about if you're thinking about like branding is what is something that is on your face. The key thing here is it has to either be in your face or like above here. What is something that you could add, or maybe something that can, be memorable for people so that it can have the power of I'm looking so there's like the power of kind of connection points, right? Because like so for example, there's so many times where we would go into conferences and people don't know who I am, but if they see the app, well, they automatically associate it with me, right? And then same with Preston is having the beanie. This is very intentional because when we go to a conference, people know who we are, right? And so the same goes with your social media, with your ads. So a tangible example for this, I was actually talking with the Randy, and Randy's fashion, this is something that he really enjoys, is he always wears, actually is Randy here. Are you here, Randy? So with Randy, his style is like, he's always like wearing his suit, and he has kind of like a very professional, fun vibe. But one of it was, I noticed that he would wear like a bow tie. So part of our conversation is, well, you could also make that part of your personality and part of your brand, part of your identity is everywhere you go, just wear like a rainbow bow tie or whatever color that looks like, right? Like whatever that is, because that can now immediately add some personality to whatever it is that you're doing, right? All right, guys. So John says, gotta run. Yeah. So Steven says a large nose ring. I mean, that can work, dude. Like if that is who you are, like that can absolutely work, right? Whatever something that is like something that stands out. Alex Hermosi, if you guys know Alex Hermosi, for the longest time, his biggest brand thing for him and personality was this like porn stash. So he has like porn mustache. And so if you see all of his marketing, all of his like photos, all of like, he has this like porn mustache, right? And so that's another idea that you want to think about. Now here's another one. And by the way, for the people that are hopping off, like, yeah, no problem. Send a message to support and we'll send you the recording of this call. Okay. And then number 5 is, what is something like, knowing what you know about being a loan originator, people that wants to buy a house, people that you're actually helping through this whole process, what is something that people absolutely hate about your business? And what are things that you can actually fix, right? So a really tangible example for this is an example in the chiropractic industry. So one chiropractor, as we know, if you think about like, if you're going to the doctor, right? The biggest thing people absolutely hate is waiting. Okay. Like I hate going to the doctor, knowing that I got to wait 30, 45 minutes just to be able to see the doctor. And so what he did differently was, okay, I know that people hate waiting. How can I solve this? He actually flipped it to, in all of his marketing, in all of his advertising, in all of his marketing, and like his unique selling proposition is there is zero waiting. Absolutely zero waiting. If you go to my dental chiropractic practice, there is 100% guaranteed zero waiting. And so like, okay, so how did he do this? And the secret that he did was he basically converted his waiting room into a almost like a wellness room. Okay, so when you go in there, even though technically you're waiting, he kind of created this like experience that he filled the room with like the massage chairs, and then he would serve like tea. He would serve like there's like massages, but that way now there's technically like they're still waiting, but in their mind they're not waiting because it's part of the experience now. No. You get in here, no waiting here. Let's get you started on our therapy, right? Boom, you go into here, you sit down, you're relaxing, like now your mind's not waiting, like in your head, you're not waiting. But technically you're, I'm actually waiting here, right? Like, and so like, that's kind of like the thought process is, all right, what is the 10X vision? What is the 10X way to look at things? What are things that your customers, your prospects actually hate doing? And how can we turn that around, right? What is something that we could do uniquely, whether it's a new experience, whether it's something that can shift their perception, right? It's all about the perceived value. And instead of doing X that they hate, what is something that we could replace it with something that I actually like, right? Whether it's and this applies also for realtor partners, right? Whatever that looks like, it's just a new lens to look at things like, that actually makes sense. What is the solution that we come up with, right? So I want to pose that question to you. And number 6 is pricing advantage. So this one is also something that can also give you a unique selling proposition, right? So one example for this is, well, is it possible that you could also talk to realtor partners that we if they agree to this, can they give back 1% of their commission, right? Or what kind of lender credits can you do? There's also, we've seen actually even Derek, they've started doing their whole promotion on like, hey, we'll drop your rates 1% on the first year, right? Something like that. So that's an idea. Now, you don't necessarily need to do that, but these are ideas to get you to start thinking the 10X lens at like, hey, what are different things they can actually do, right? Cassandra says, this makes me feel like I'm boring. I have nothing that stands out that I can leverage. Great idea though. Oh, Cass. So I just want to, this is real talk too. I can 100% tell you right now that is a limiting belief, first of all, okay? That is a limiting belief. And there's also two kind of ways to look at this, okay? One is, it's a limiting belief to think that, you are quote unquote boring because you're comparing yourself to what most social media out there looks like. And, even in our example right now, right? Like these are intentional things that people are doing, okay? And so the keyword here is you just need to be intentional about it. And this is the reason why we're having this conversation right now is I'm posing these questions to you guys is because now you could be more intentional about it, okay? Because, Kurt didn't just like wake up and become the bacon realtor, right? Like Amanda didn't just wake up and, being like the dancing mom, right? Like the dancer. And so like there's some intentionality behind this. But then the other thing I will say is the standard that you look at what other people are doing, we usually perceive our life to be boring just because we looked at what social media is telling us. But the reality is, the truth of the matter is, Cassandra, when you're looking at what other people are doing, these are their highlight reels, right? And, they're not doing that every day. Like I promise you. And the thing is, and actually here's the more important thing to take note of. The most powerful formula in being able to actually have an effective message that hits, market message is about relatability, okay? So being relatable. We talked about, I give this example because if you think about the most commercially successful superhero is Spider-Man. Now, the most popular one usually is either Superman or Batman. They're actually more recognizable. Everyone knows them more. But the most commercially successful is Spider-Man, and it's because of relatability. People can actually relate with Spider-Man because now here's the keyword here too, is their target market. Their target market. Not everyone can relate with Spider-Man, but their target market, who are teenagers that's looking to buy comic books, can 100% relate with Spider-Man because he is an awkward kid. He's not good with women, right? Like he's trying to find a girlfriend. He's broke as well. He lives in New York City, which is a real city, compared to Batman who lives in Gotham, which is a fake city, compared to Superman who lives in Metropolis, which is a fake city as well. And, Superman is like alien being that I can't relate with. Batman is this like billionaire child that I can't relate with because he's billionaire. And so there's a relatability aspect to this. And so I promise you, Cassandra, that if you just talk about your life, you just add a little bit of personality there, over here, I promise you, it is going to even be more effective because you are relatable, right? Like people, the reason why Kim Kardashian has become a billionaire, she has literally built her whole billion-dollar business, is because of raw, real TV, right? So reality TV. Now, granted, it's scripted, and she's also not relatable in the sense that, like she lives this like lavish life, right? But the point that I'm saying when I talk about her is it's all about the rawness, and people actually like seeing the rawness of reality TV more than scripted, right? Like scripted stuff. And so, so Tyler says, everyone has a story. Everyone is a hero for someone. Tell your story. That is your brand. 100%, Tyler. And so now here's the other thing too that I really want to say is it's really hard in the beginning if you've never done this before, is because we all have insecurities, right? We are all insecure. And when I started on this journey myself about telling my story and, being more public in Facebook and posting in social media, I was very self-conscious, right? And I think that's a normal thing to have. It is actually normal that you should be self-conscious because, we're humans, right? Like we really are. But I cannot tell you how the secret here is to just know that you will get haters, okay? You will get haters. I cannot tell you, and I assume you guys even see this probably, from the videos, because I get a lot of hate comments on our ads, the videos I post. Like people talk about how, like people hate this hat, by the way. Like for some reason, people hate this hat. I don't look professional, right? They're like, oh my God, why would I hire you? You look like a kid. You're very unprofessional, right? People say like my teeth is like terrible. Like because there was like one video that I was like close up on, and they actually say that like I have yellow teeth, and like I would get like hate comments to say like, oh my God, like your teeth is disgusting, right? Like you should see the dentist, right? And so the thing is, and the truth of the matter is, Cassandra, that actually hurts me. Right? Like that hurts me because now people are actually attacking my identity, right? Like that is an identity that I have. And I mean, bro, like this is my teeth, right? Like, and it actually makes me think like, damn, like, should I actually fix my teeth? Like I legitimately think through that is like, oh my God, like, should I at least, I even thought about like getting a, what do you call that? Like just getting like whiter teeth, like bleaching. That was a thing. Like I even thought about like, should I bleach my teeth? Because like, like it's yellow, it's like, it's disgusting, right? But the thing is, now here's the truth. The truth is it's normal to have that mindset and to feel that way because we are human beings. But the main thing that really helped me is the quote from Denzel Washington. And Denzel says that you will never be criticized by people doing more than you. It's only the people that are doing less. Okay, so let me repeat that. I really live by this, is you will never be criticized by people doing more than you. It's only the people that are doing less. And that is true, because if you look at anyone who's ever been successful, they know how hard it is to get to that success. And so they will actually respect you more. The people that I see that are hustling, I'm like, damn, dude, like mad respect on that. Like, keep doing it, right? Like, keep doing it, keep putting in the work, because I know how hard it was. Like, I've been there, right? And so the only people that you like, if you get like hated comments and stuff like that, like, just know that those are not the people that you are trying to reach, right? This was also another thing from Dean Graziosi, actually. He said, one of the things that people kind of ask him is like, all right, well, if you also become an influencer, if you become a local celebrity in your space, right, like, you also lose out on privacy, okay? Because like, all right, so what does this mean? Like, do I need to start, talking about like personal stuff? Like, I don't feel comfortable with like my family, being like so public and stuff like that. And, somebody asked him, what is your thought on that? Like, you're losing privacy. And so, like, you're opening up your life. I don't think that's right. And what he said was, I can understand what you mean by this, but if that is the price that I have to pay for me to actually be able to reach the people that I can help, my people that I can serve, then that is the price that I will have to pay, right? And so if we take it from that perspective, it's like, hey, it goes back to what is your belief, what is your values, what is the purpose that you're doing this for, and that will also help drive the belief and the stories that we tell ourselves. Because I mean, I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, whatever, right? Like, I will get haters, but look at our community, guys. Like, look at you guys, like being here, and for me to be able to talk to you guys and be in this community. This would never have happened if I didn't put myself out there, right? And so to me, it's totally worth it, because we're able to attract the right type of people, right? Very important here is not just anyone, the right type of people that you are here to serve, right? It's all about, hey, we're not here to serve everyone. If they don't have the right mindset, if they're not looking at this long-term, they're not looking to grow long-term, well, I also can't help them. Right. And so, yeah, Patricia says, we love your hat. Bro, that hat is money. Yeah. So yeah, it's very interesting. That's a one lens to kind of look at it. Right. I'm actually be very curious too. So are you still here, Cassandra? Because this is a very,
Yeah, I'm here.
okay. This is a tangible, like, feedback that you have there. Like, is there like, what do you mean by this? And is there like a specific thing that you've tried doing already, but you kind of feel like, you're not able to do because of, this limiting belief?
Well, I wouldn't say that I try to do anything. It's just like, listening to you kind of call out what people do to kind of make them stand out, like what identifies them. It made me think like, damn, what can I leverage to help identify me? And I couldn't think of anything. It's like, am I just boring, or have I not just tapped in deep enough to identify that? I don't know.
Okay. I mean, that's, first of all, the fact that you're asking that question right now is already an amazing first step. Okay. It's an amazing first step because, and this is, I want to share something that I've personally had to learn, guys. And, we've been doing this for more than 10 years now. Like, I've been on this journey for more than 10 years. And, in the sense of like, when I I mean, you guys know my story, right? Like, I moved here from the Philippines, first generation immigrant, looking for like, a better life for myself. And I think we, as human beings, and for me personally, the reason why I do what I do is because I want freedom. Okay. I think all of us want freedom, and it's, freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom of relationships, and freedom of purpose. Okay. So those are the four things that I really look out for. And for the longest time throughout this journey, I have always looked at, hey, what are the things, like I wanted an actual like map for somebody to tell me what to do, because I know that like, hey, if I do this, I know myself that I can work hard. If I believe in something, like I will put 1,000%, like I will do the things, right? And so I was looking for somebody to tell me what to do, and then I'll do it. Okay. But as I've gone through this journey, and we've invested hundreds and thousands of dollars in, mentors, buying courses, joining masterminds, looking at like hiring people. And that's not an exaggeration, by the way. Like I personally spent over $100,000 in investing in myself, hiring mentors and stuff like that. And the truth of the matter is, there's actually no one map, because the thing is, if there was a way, then everybody would just keep doing it, right? That's one. And so it's almost like it's a combination of different things, of different ways to do it, but it also needs to align with your own values and what is important to you. What are the things that you're willing to do? What are you, how that like translates to your specific market, to your specific, the people that you serve, the people that you want to serve. And so, first of all, the fact that you're asking that question is already a great direction, right? Great first step. The other thing that I will say is, in my examples here, these are trigger points so that you guys can kind of get some ideas, right? It doesn't necessarily need to, like the personality. You could see like number 4 is personality, but this is just one way of it, right? But I actually truly believe that this number 4, adding a personality, is actually one of the easiest, is because everyone here has a story, guys. Like everyone here has a story. And, think about, why are you doing what you're doing? So I'll give you guys a quick hack on this. The hack is sometimes you might not actually care about what you're doing. And that's fine, okay? If you are here for the money, I respect that, because I was the same way. The reason why we chose, I'll be completely honest with you guys. The reason, because like people ask us, all right, so why did you start a marketing agency helping loan officers? Why specifically an officer? I've never sold a loan before. I'm not a mortgage loan originator, right? Like I'm not licensed. Like why specifically loan officers? And the answer, truthfully, was because it was just an opportunity, right? I don't wake up in the morning being very passionate about helping loan officers, just to be truthful for you guys. However, we understood that for us to truly grow and for us to truly make an impact to you guys, is we had to find a way for me to actually give a shit, okay? And for me to actually care and be passionate about actually helping you guys. And so I had to create a hack in our mind and create an actual mission that we can actually be very passionate about. And that is how we came up with, okay, if I'm not 100% really, really passionate about helping loan officers, what can we do so that we can actually be passionate about our mission in Good Vibes Squad in helping loan officers? And that was taking it one step further, which is, well, if we help you guys, what are you guys doing? Well, you are helping the families and helping improve the local communities of families, moving them out of like bad neighborhoods, bad apartment complexes, putting them in like bigger, safer neighborhoods, better school, better education, and affecting bloodlines by literally just moving them to a zip code. And I could relate with this is because I experienced that, right? Like I came from a third world country. I grew up and literally just by moving from the Philippines to the United States, it allowed me so much more better opportunities, better network of people, better education, like just a myriad of opportunities that I never would have had I just stayed in the Philippines, right? And so that was like a hack for me, for us to be like, so what is something that you could find, even if it's not the direct answer, but it's something like an indirect thing that you could actually feel passionate about that can also align to what it is that you're doing for the people that you help serve, right? And it could just start with honestly just asking yourself, wait, it could just start with like first-time home buyers, right? If you just start with first-time home buyers, look at your family. If you have a family member, like what is an avatar of your family member that you want to help? It could be, nurses, firefighters, police officers. Like I'm assuming like you might have cousins or relatives or stuff like that are in those spaces. That could be a starting point, right? But it doesn't just need to be that. What is something that you're also passionate about? So, these are like trigger points, trigger ideas. But like, well, let me ask you this, Cassandra. Like, what do you do outside of just working? Like, are you a mom? Do you have kids?
Yeah, I have 2 boys, both in basketball.
Okay, okay, that's a good starting point. Okay. Well, here's the other thing. Actually, Dan Kennedy talked about this. He had a real estate agent, a realtor client of his, and that was one of his thing was because he noticed that realtor, he had twins. Okay, so he had twins, and so if you think about it, it's like he had twins, but the fact that he had twins was in a unique enough situation that he was able to really relate with other parents, not only with other parents, but other parents who had twins. And there's a specific dynamic to it. And so he added, so the way that he did it is he positioned himself as the realtor with twins. And now he's able to actually have a higher connection point with other people that had twins is because he added in all of his marketing, his photos, his videos, his social media, he added his family there. He added his twin children. And so, like I would say like you don't need like a crazy story to kind of have this like, create a brand, right? Like you have your own story. And so like if you just talk about like what led you to be in this space, right? What led you to even, want to become a loan officer? Like, I mean, do you like, let me just ask you right now, like what led you to become a loan officer?
I actually became a loan officer as a trial. I had one of my friends, we worked at Household Bank together, and he left and became a loan officer. And I was scared, like this is when I was like 22 years old. And I was scared to take the plunge because I was making decent money. And to go from like, guaranteed income to strictly commission, I was just afraid to do it. So I ended up having surgery, and during my my recovery time or whatever, like I was being paid time off. I was like, okay, well, while I'm out on disability or surgery or whatever, I was going to take that time and test it to see how it worked. And I end up loving it, and I end up staying.
Okay. So it's almost like, okay, it's like it was like kind of like an accident. And then usually, because there's actually a concept, guys, there's a concept that's called like an origin story. And we could even have like a master class on this. If it sounds like, is that something that people would be interested in? Like, is like crafting like origin story? You guys put it in the chat. I'd be curious, Styler's just signing up. Okay. So, actually, so let me kind of touch a little bit on what you just said, Cassandra. But let me finish this first, okay? Let me just finish this because we're at the number 7 here. So number 6 is like pricing advantage. Number 7 is special experiences, okay? So again, we're thinking about like if we want to put on our 10x mindset, 10x lens that we see through things, what is something that can allow us to have this unique selling proposition? Well, it's also creating experiences that, might just be unique experiences, right? So a really good example for this is actually what we did. This is the reason why we created the Hero Home program, right? Is because this allows you guys an actual mechanism to be able to create these special experiences. So, we talked about, that's part of what the Hero Home program is, right? It was like, hey, as part of the Hero Home program, I will actually do, all the research for you. I'll put you in the best situation as possible. We'll do all the research, we'll get access to all the different programs and fit you in that best possible situation for you, right? But there's also an idea, this was also like an idea that I had in the sense that if you think about my experience with Kirk, which is my realtor, it's like giving that extra service and amazing wow moments, right? So actually, let me define what a wow moment is. Zappos, which is, they literally built their whole business in what's called an irresistible offer and creating wow moments, which this propelled them to be bought by Amazon for $1.6 billion, okay, billion with a B. And so, and this, their whole business model was built on creating wow moments. And so when I think about wow moments and the actual definition of what is a wow moment is a moment that you create for your prospect and customers that are unexpected. Okay, it has to be unexpected for you to have a wow moment. Because if people expect it, well, that's just a standard. You're just doing your job, right? But if it's something unexpected, that is what creates those wow moments. And so having almost like a utilities concierge is actually also kind of an interesting concept. And there's tools out there that if they go into the house, once they close in a house, they come into the house, there's a concierge service that hey, click this button, you sign up to this and you immediately get connected with all of your utilities, and it's almost like another layer of a wow moment, right? Like, oh shit, I didn't even think that, you would do this for me, right? Thank you. And so it's another lens to really think through of hey, how can I serve hard so I could sell easy, right? Serve hard, sell easy. That's what we want. So there you have it. I hope you found a ton of value out of this video. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future video drops. And if you want to learn more how to grow your mortgage business, go ahead and check out these other videos, and I will see you in the next video.